It's all right.
Can you make my hair look like this?
Oh, man, what you want to make your hair look like that for?
See, that's the problem with y'all today. Y'all don't know nothing.
Will you let the man tee you off? You yap worse than 6 barbers.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Your Barber podcast. I'm your host, Matt Ballot, a.k.a. Matty Blaze on Instagram. Today, we're up to episode number 31, recording on a late night edition. I got to go to work tomorrow, Thursday, but we're here. So if it's your first time joining us, the Your Barber podcast was made to inspire and relate to the everyday barber, shop owner, person, or anyone looking to get into this industry or to keep anyone's hope alive in the industry as well. So today I got a special guest hailing from Boca Raton, Florida. He is Mr.Fadincomb himself. Let me get on my Jimmy Fallon real quick. His name is Tito Torres. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him on in here. What's going on, Tito?
What's up, bro?
Here it is.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks for making the time tonight, my man. How's it going today?
I'm good, man. Just finished working.
Finished a full day of work.
Full day of heads.
Busy on Wednesdays?
Busy on a Wednesday. Yeah, it was pretty busy, man.
That's good. Usually that Tuesday, Wednesday, those are my days off. And I was like, those are good days to have off because it can typically be slower-ish, If you're busy, that's good, though.
Sometimes it is, but sometimes they can surprise you, man. It'd be some busy days.
Absolutely. That's a good indication that's going to be a good week, right?
Right. That's right.
When the quote unquote slow days are not so slow. So
yeah.
Report. So the link between Tito and I are from Zeno, who is the owner of New Era's Barbershop, right? And you currently work at New Era's Barbershop, is that right?
Yes, that's where I'm at right now.
Hell yeah, my man. Yeah, Zeno's a hell of a dude, and anyone he vouches for, I would assume is a solid guy. So
yeah, it's actually his idea to try to do it over here.
Yeah,
he gave me the blessings. He was like, "Yeah, man, do what you want. Do it here."
Hell yeah, that's a good call. Because you're in the middle of a move, right?
Kind of. Yeah, I was moving.
It didn't happen, or
I moved. Well, yeah. The complications was that I was gonna move somewhere else initially, but then it was like a scam. Like I got scammed out of my money.
Oh,
so
no.
Yeah, so like it was a financial setback for me on that whole situation. So I had to like pivot and get into somewhere else. So, but I got it handled.
Hell yeah, man. I mean, it happens. It all happens. Just like me trying to pay my student loans. I got scammed, and now I'm never doing that shit. Wow. So, anyway, unless they start docking the pay there, then we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But like I said, Mr. Fadincomb himself, I came across this comb and brush combo. I figured, I was like, damn, this is kind of like a useful product. Like, it kind of gets rid of one extra thing to lay on your station. And I know, like, most barber stations, there can be a lot of clutter sometimes. So anytime you can kind of, take that minimalist angle, it's super helpful. And then, just on the time, you might be saving precious seconds too, from the switching to the comb to the brush.
Yeah.
And everything like that. But so let's talk about kind of how it all started with this fade and brush. Did you have any other products before this product?
Oh no. So like it started just me cutting in the barbershop, and it just like, I'm sure you've done it all the time. You switch over from comb to brush to fade brush, and they're like, at one point they were both in my hand.
No, I've done that, dude. I've done to use every single finger for.
Yeah. Okay.
I've done that before. I'm like, I'm holding 7 things at once. What am I doing?
That moment right there, like it hit me. Like it finally hit me. I was like, why don't we join these two? Like I'm tired of like putting this one down and picking it up, putting this one down. I'm like, I can't believe nobody's ever done this.
Yeah.
And like literally the guy that I was cutting, I told him, and he's an artist. So I was like, yo, can you draw like what I'm visualizing in my head? And he literally right there got up out of the chair and he started drawing and erasing. I was like, no, 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 no. And I tried to draw. He was like, all right, let me. He redid everything and he put my mentality, like what I seen on paper. And I was like, wow, I think this could be something right here.
Right. Well, I feel like we all talk about like, I could come up with a product and, I could come up with something. Like the amount of times I said, one day I'm going to come up with a product that repels hair off of your clothes and your shoes and your shoestrings. And like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to get with like a chemist that develops some sort of spray.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I've been there too. I've been there so many times, and that alone itself had me like, you know what? I'm tired of like saying I wish I could do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. You know, so like my first step was to talk to a patent lawyer.
What was the first step?
To talk to a patent lawyer.
Oh yeah, you gotta get the patent first, right?
Yeah, I kind of just wanted to know. It's like, has anybody done this?
Yeah.
And that's when I reached out. I Googled and I found, like, at the time I was living in Jersey.
Okay.
So, like, I found a patent lawyer in Cherry Hill.
Sweet. So when you approached the patent lawyer, did you have the full prototype mapped out already?
Yeah, I had. Okay, so the prototype, I remember the prototype was like, it was out of wood. Like I cut it, like I drew it on some wood, and I had a little Dremel machine.
Yeah.
Like I started like carving out the thing, and then for the brush end, I used like paintbrush bristles just to give them the idea. It was like the easiest thing that I could glue into the wood piece, and then like.
So you're referring to. Give me 1 second here. Let's add this Instagram to the stage here.
I think yeah, you're right.
Dude, you just posted something today, didn't you? Here it is.
Yeah, that's the drawing.
Here we go.
that's literally the drawing that my client in the chair drew. That was
Hold up, let's rewind this. So this was kind of the steps here. This was step one.
Drawing right there. Yep.
So I kind of like, I kind of went, I think the current brush I had before I added your product to the repertoire was just like kind of one of those elegance, like handheld comb, like brushes where it's kind of like that wide, kind of that shape, and it's got like a handle. So it's a little too big, you know what I mean? Especially if you're trying to get behind ears and shit.
Yeah.
So that looks like kind of the like thought of what you were kind of going after in the beginning, at least, right?
What, with the bigger brush?
Yeah, because exactly, like right here.
That right there, yeah. I mean, that was just all I had to try to, just to show you what I wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But
no doubt.
Also, you see how it all looks uniform. Like I initially wanted it to look like a full comb. Like if you look at it, you're like, oh, it looks like oh wait, that's a brush.
Right.
Kind of more like that. You know what I mean? But like in designing it, a lot of things changed.
So when did you take it to like the computer, like you did here?
That point right there, yeah.
So like, what did you use? Like I don't even know where to get started.
The software that I used to draw.
Yeah.
Geez, you know what? I might have like copied and pasted the thing, and then the computer came with Paint 3D or 3D Paint or something.
Oh, so you were able to kind of erase.
I was able to erase and curve and get it to like, look how I wanted to do it. And then like with the paint filler, like I added all one color, and then it all looked like it was all uniform.
So that's pretty simple. I mean, that makes
it was like I put pieces together, and then with the eraser, I kind of erased the pieces that were hanging out, and I kind of mended it, chiseled it up a little bit, and then I flooded everything that I put together with one color.
So yeah, there was Here was a work in progress as well here.
Yeah,
That's what you made me think of when you said the glue. I'm like, I just got to pull this stuff now.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then now, look at Ivan Zoot
I've been
sporting
doing
the
over here.
thing. So I like the little edge part. You know what I mean? Right there. So you can get that clean section.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's super useful, my man.
Thanks. I'm glad.
So we'll come back. We'll come back to the IG here. Let me pause that. So yeah, man, I just saw that today. You literally posted that like hours ago.
Yeah, so my patent lawyer kept that. He kept that prototype.
Yeah, man, that's cool to see it from the very start. So
Yeah.
all in all, how many years did this kind of take to get to where it is now?
About 7 years for it to get to the point of it was manufactured.
Okay, so talk about let's get into the whole like manufacturing aspect of it. Like it's probably easier than ever to delegate these type of like production and the like of the products and the resources, right? Like think about like 20 years ago how hard it would have been to just like get in contact and like
Right. Yeah, you would have to.
like,
Yeah, without internet or whatever, I would assume it'd have been a lot harder.
yeah, because you can kind of like delegate the tasks out, right? Because like with Shopify and things like that.
Okay.
Useful tools that
There
you
is a
can
lot
use.
of tools. I mean, before I even got to manufacturing, the drawing, the little design that I made, I was reached out to this 3D printing artist.
Okay.
So I found this artist online, Mark. Oh, I can't believe I forgot his name. He's such a cool guy. The dude is 100% big help in this whole process. So I found him. He created a broom. He 3D printed a broom.
Okay.
Like a useful broom. Like he printed the handle and then the brush bristles. He 3D printed that. So he was the first one that he made bristles. And how he made the bristles, like the bristles came out of the broom, and then he had to create something for it to attach over here, a plastic piece to attach it. So like everything connected to that piece, and then he snapped off that one piece, and then the bristles came loose. So
Okay.
there's a bridging technique, I think it was called. He was the first one to do that with 3D printing. So when I seen the video, I was like, this is the guy that's gonna help me.
So how'd you reach out to him? Like,
so like, all right, so his work is on like there's pages, there's 3D printing pages like for service, right? Like you could download something, and so they have artists on there, almost like Fiverr, right?
Huh.
So like they have artists in there that could do whatever you design. So like he was the one that did that. He was no longer on there, but I found his information on the website, his email.
okay.
So I started emailing him.
How long did that take to kind of
That
break
took a
through?
while. It was like after like the 5th email that he responded. I guess he didn't see the first 4, and the 5th one when I emailed him one more last time, it was like one more shot. It was like, let me take one more shot. I need this guy.
Yeah.
And he responded so fast, and he ended up telling me later on, he was like, dude, I was on Reddit. Like he's like a nerd, right? So he's like, I was literally on Reddit because I'm no longer doing that thing online. I was looking for artists that need me to print stuff, and then you popped up. So it's like, all right. So you were looking for me, and I'm looking for you. Let's
Wow.
Let me show you this. Yeah.
That's crazy. So when he responded that fast, you're like, oh shit, here he is.
Yeah. And he literally told me, he was like, I was looking for something to do. Like I was looking for an artist to like create something on Reddit, and then your email popped up.
Wow. That's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
So like what are the kind of like costs that go into just like getting him to, get that prototype down to a complete science so you can reproduce it?
So like I was drawing on my computer you could almost call it like stick figures, figures of
Right.
what, and then I would send it to him. He would then
Yeah.
turn it into a 3D CAD version.
Okay.
So he was able to do it a lot better. The first one he sent me, I thought that was the one. I was
Really?
like, this is it. I was like, yeah, this is exactly it. He was like, take your time, because he made it look so cool. I mean, I could go on and 3D look at everything. I was like, yeah, you got everything. I was like, this is it. But that was like, so long ago. It was like, it took like 5 years past that.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's how long it took, just like tiny adjustments here and there.
Tiny adjustments between like me sending him ideas and then him sending them back. So like he would send it back, and then if I was like, all right, let's print that out.
Yeah.
So then he would send me the file. I would send it out to a company to 3D print it. They would 3D print it. I would get it. I would look at it, and I'd go from changes for now. I was like, all right, we got to change this. And I'll go back to the drawing board.
Cool. You like put it to the test. You're like, okay, this is close here. Let's take it into the field and see how it does.
Yeah, so that was like the cheapest way for me to like hold it. You know what I mean? To the whole thing. And each one was about $35, $40 each one. And I got a bunch of them.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah, man. I mean, just the determination and the perseverance of like, I'm gonna get this right eventually. Like, let me keep doing this.
Plus, like he was willing to help too. So like, and he was super interested. He loved it. He loved the idea, and that was to my benefit that he loved it. I was like, yes. Like, I'm glad he's motivated to like help me out.
Hell yeah, man. It seems like the stars aligned with that.
Yeah, they definitely felt like that at some point.
So we'll return to the development story. Let's hop into the opening segment here called Just an Observation, right?
Okay.
And so it just kind of has to do with barber products and like the vast array of like the unique products there are.
Okay.
Like I want to get your take on like how some of these products have came across, you as well. Like, back to like the shoestring thing. Like, they got those ones where you could like lace in the shoestring cover.
Mm-hmm.
Just like little things that are like convenient and useful like that. That's like, that really like intrigues me. Like, especially barber products, right? Because there's so many things we could come up with that would help us in the workplace. And so I'm always intrigued by those. What's like another one that, there was another one I was thinking of too. But what are some of the unique products that you've kind of came across in just like this journey of developing the Fadincomb?
That I came across. I mean, lately I feel like there's a scissor that somebody kept. Everybody has seen the scissor with the comb.
Yeah, the one that's attached.
Yeah,
that's another thing that would save some time.
Yeah.
The only thing is, it's like we don't know the quality of like the shear. You know what I mean?
Exactly. We go through so much time looking for the perfect shear.
Yeah.
And then
like
right.
Our shear sharpen guy in our shop came in and he sharpened my shears, and then he put that in my hand and he's like, here, try this out. Because like he's like, go ahead. I was like right in the middle of cutting a client, and he came back in to give me the shear back. He's like, here, go ahead and use this real quick. And I was like, okay.
Which one? The one with the comb?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you used it.
Yeah. So he put it right in my hand when he came back with my shear sharpened.
Okay.
And I got to test it out. I was like, okay, this is, at the beginning, you're just like, what am I holding? Right. You kind of like, oh, I'm just so used to that hand doing something. So I was like, what am I doing here? But yeah, I figured it out a little bit, but, that was the other one I was thinking of. You took it right out of my mouth, so that's perfect.
Cool.
But yeah, man, it's just like crazy how many vast like array of products that we're coming out with, and just 10 years ago, a decade ago, we didn't have these cool little gadgets that we can add to our arsenal.
That just says that we're evolving. Everybody we're all thinking. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a matter of getting these minds in this space of barbering, and then we could think about that. You know what I mean? How to innovate barbering.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, man, it's just crazy. It's all crazy, these products. And like I've never really gotten to like products like this on my podcast before because we kind of get into the person's story and everything, which we're about to do. But yeah, like I'm such a big clipper comb guy. Like I was using the Fadincomb with like shear over comb,
Yeah.
and I like how the hairs come in bunch at the very end.
Okay.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Almost in a different way, and it helped the blend. When I was using it for shear over comb, even.
Shear over
Yeah.
comb. Yeah.
And I did see you add that little man. I wish I would have brought it home. I planned on bringing it home so we could show it, but there is if you can see right there at the end, the top there. There's like a little bay you can put in like shave gel or a shaving product as well.
So that's I would a long time ago this barber that I used to cut. He didn't cut hair no more, but he had told me like because I was like about to do his mustache and he was like, you shouldn't use your hand on there. He should try put water on the back of the comb and slide it back and forth. And I've done that ever since because it was like, I don't know, it was kind of hygienic. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, I'd rather, if you don't want my fingers up in your thing, I get it. You know what I mean? I probably don't want.
That reminds me of like I learned to cut hair in Arizona. Like that's who taught me how to cut hair.
Okay.
It's like a Mexican owned like business and everything. And I feel like that's like a Hispanic thing almost. Like like they put one thing they did on like hard parts, they'd put the gel in the comb and then like separate the hair and part it like that. And I was like, I've never seen that since. I've never seen it before. So I was just assuming like that was kind of
in the cosmetology school where like she dipped the whole comb in the gel and I was like,
yeah, I'm like, whoa, okay, I didn't even know that was an option. So I was like, okay, that's what it brought me back to. I was like, okay, so it's almost a 3-in-1 now, right? We can, like, I like using this stuff called Beard Lube. It's by Jack Black, and it's kind of like a shaving lotion more than like a gel.
Right.
And once I came across it, dude, I shave my head with it. I shave my clients with it.
Disperse it. Is it like you pump? Is it a pump or do you
pump? It comes in a huge like tub and you pump it. So I could literally like line that right across in there if I wanted to.
Right.
So I'm gonna try that out. Say I like just tilted it and kind of like just ran it across the top of his mustache, and then I could almost brush it in too a little bit.
Right.
So that's how I'm gonna try to attack it. Since you mentioned it like that, that makes sense, man.
Yeah, no, I mean the guy that he pointed it out, and I was like, I couldn't go back after that. He was like, why would I put my hand in there? You know what I mean? It's like, all right.
That's the best part about barbering, man. We're just a reflection of everything we've seen or every idea we kind of connected with other barbers. That's the beautiful thing about our art, man. It just makes it so interesting and fresh and new that way. Keeps the ball rolling for sure.
I feel like I extracted like his best idea because he used to be a barber. He wasn't cutting hair anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You said that.
He was like, he was done. He was like, so I'm like, oh, yeah, I just extracted the best lesson out of you.
Yeah.
All he had.
he's just like a tastemaker now. You take a little from everyone. So let's get into your background a little bit now, Tito. Let's start the journey from where you were born, first and foremost.
I was born in Puerto Rico.
Born in Puerto Rico. Nice. Yeah. So what was life like in Puerto Rico before you came?
I mean, I didn't stay there that long. I left Puerto Rico. I was 5 years old, but I had some remembrance of a little kid in Puerto Rico, and I was born like it wasn't like in the city. I was more like in the mountains. So like, I remember walking around without barefooted in the jungle, kind of. You know what I mean? Like I was like a jungle kid.
That's crazy, man. You remember those things, though. I mean, those things.
Remember all this stuff. I remember walking in the river and like we going crabbing, and I'm barefooted.
Like you step to this day, if you're barefoot, you step on like a rock or something. You're like, this makes me think when I was 5.
Yeah, I think back to it. I was like, man, I don't know. Like, I wonder if I would have stayed there, I would have became a Tarzan or something.
Swinging from vines. So what was the process like with your folks and everything in your family? Do you have any siblings that came over with you, or how
Yeah,
did that
so
all
like
work out?
my mom, it was me, my mom, my older brother and sister. We came. I mean, I was 5 years older, but I even remember the plane ride coming over.
Was that your first time on a plane at
Yeah,
that point?
yeah. I was a
Yeah.
kid. I was so young, but yeah, we came over and I don't know. I guess she did it. My mom did it to for us to be better.
Right. Is your mom still here with us?
She is, but she's back in New Jersey. She's still in New Jersey.
So you flew, where was home
Home
initially?
was Jersey, yeah. So I spent
You
most of
came
my
up to
life in
Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah.
What part?
South,
South Jersey. Okay.
South Jersey. So like really close to Atlantic City. Everybody knows Atlantic City. So
Right.
it was about half hour. I was in between Atlantic City and half hour away from Philly, South Philly.
Okay.
So Philly was
Nice,
pretty
man.
close.
Hell yeah, man. Tri-state represent. So growing up, what what were you into? What'd you kind of take to? Were you like an art guy? Were you a sports guy? Were you music? Like what
Yeah,
was kind of
I remember drawing a lot when I was young. I used to draw. My favorite thing to draw when I was young, and I don't know how, but like I couldn't do it now, but I was drawing dinosaurs.
yeah, okay.
Totally into dinosaurs, and like I knew all the names. I don't know them now, but like I knew all the names, and I knew
Yeah.
when I drew them, I was like I knew that this dinosaur was vegetarian or whatever. And
Yeah. How old are you, Tito?
I am 43.
43. You almost reversed it. You're like
34. I wanted to say 34.
So 43. That's nice, man. You still got a lot of energy in you, man. It's still a long way to go.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
keep that youth about you, my man.
yeah, yeah. I think that has to do with no. I don't have any kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was my next question. What's no kids in the picture, so you're
Yeah.
able to really focus on yourself in that regard. Are you in a relationship or anything like that? Married?
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking to this girl right now that I met
Okay,
out here in Florida.
that's cool, man. That it keeps it fun, and then you're still able to focus on your dreams and everything you're pursuing in your career as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's important, man. That's important because it's like that's something that comes up, and it's like it's like the test. It's like you gonna support me or what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are you
Are you gonna hinder my development, or are you gonna support me? Right.
right? Are you gonna laugh at me or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a shitty thing, man, especially with like a significant other. Like someone shitting on your like ideas or something that you want to pursue or do. Like that's you don't need those people in your life and it's always a reflection of something they didn't do in their life, right? Or something they didn't go after. They just try to spoil it for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's dope, man, that you followed through with this long product development. So let's continue through the background. So from Jersey, like did you go to college? What was like school like for you going throughout school?
School. I mean, high school. High school was I played a little football in high school.
Okay. Play a little football. Did
But
you
I
have a
worked.
regular barber in high school yet?
Yeah, Tahir.
Tahir, okay.
Yeah,
Tahir in Jersey. Shout out. Is he still cutting hair?
I'm pretty sure he is, man.
Does he know you're a barber now?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
super
like in the
cool. We gotta
beginning
go
of when
back.
I first started cutting, I reached out to him. Like I wanted to work with him because
Oh, really?
I thought he was the best around. You know what I mean? It's like I want to work with you. And
What was the shop culture like in that regular shop you go to?
where I used to go to,
Yeah, in Jersey, kind of what?
oh man, it was like there wasn't nothing like it when they got there. It was called Nubian Essence.
Nubian Essence. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember Isaiah. There was a barber, Isaiah. I think he was the owner. And Tahir cut my hair, and I was just like, I was told to go to Tahir, so I went to Tahir, and I stuck with him ever since. But it was cool. It was a cool barbershop. I mean, the culture they definitely were into the culture as far as like races. Like they had a flag, like Italian flag, Puerto Rican flag, or you know what I mean, like whatever flag, and then they had like if you got your haircut a lot there, they would put your picture underneath the flag that you represented.
Okay. Oh, that's dope. That's interesting. Kind of bring all the nationalities that
Yeah,
represent like that. Okay. Now, when you so I did this with my regular barber back in the day. I was like, did you ever like once you were like kind of knee deep in your barber career, did you ever hit up your old barber and like apologize for like the way you acted one time or something you
no,
couldn't
man,
relate to until you were in it, you know?
no, I didn't have to do that. No, I don't. I was good. I was good. I didn't. I was a good client.
That's good. I was a good client too, but I was like a little picky sometimes. I'd be
Yeah.
like, hey man, I know my beard's weird right here, but can you kind of like raise that up, like stretch it down, do something with it?
Okay.
I just remember doing shit like that. And then
Yeah.
like I remember I was like a couple years into my career and I was like, hey E, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry for all that. Back in the day. I get it now, man.
Yeah, man. That's cool. I mean,
Yeah. I had him on here too, so
He come
Yeah.
teach him like,
I
nah,
brought
y'all
that up.
pay.
Yeah, I was like,
what's up, man?
yeah, it's cool to
No,
see a full circle.
I never had to apologize.
Yeah, that's good. That means that's a good thing. So that was obviously like a big barber influence to you, right?
Yeah.
Being in that barber shop.
His style of haircut and that definitely. He was definitely that's something that I liked about him is that he was like he kept everything real natural. Like hairlines, he was always like so precise and natural. And
Yeah.
then like he showed me it was like because there was a time where like pushing hairlines back was a thing and like the Philly hooks.
Right.
Remember the Philly hooks? The Philly
Oh
hooks,
yeah.
where like it's like they push it in, but they make a point.
Yeah. I mean, they still it's still a thing.
Now,
Oh,
but,
you
like,
mean just with the sideburn?
the sideburn was like pointy, and then
Yeah, super thin. Yeah.
yeah, so a lot of people were pushing that in, and then like I would see him do it, and I'm like, man, he's doing that same curve and point without pushing it in. You know what I mean? It's like so
Right.
like I adapted to his style for sure.
No doubt. I always seem to like pick like a couple hairs that of like my place of reference that I'm gonna hook off of when I do that. I'm just
Yeah.
like that's kind of the natural line. If I could just take those two hairs there, I'm picturing as the border of that. Then
Yeah,
I'll just
so
kinda
usually like
follow
those
that.
two hairs or whatever, like I don't know, like I take the comb and like I bring them into where there's you know what I mean? Like if they're like out, like I
Yeah,
bring them
they're
in,
flared
like,
out.
I hold it with the comb and
Oh, interesting.
Exactly.
That's another little gem.
yeah.
I have a cheat code segment, a barber cheat code, and I felt like we just dropped like 4 of them already with the mustache, with the combs and everything. So
Yeah.
we only got to get into that today.
We already
So
got
before him though, were there any like did you have the clipper in your hands? Like when was the first time you kind of picked
oh
up
my
the clipper
god.
and messed
So
around?
my older sister's boyfriend Raymond,
Okay.
he cut hair. So
Mm,
yeah, I don't know if it was before or in between Tyre, but like I remember he cut hair and then he would come in and like my mom was there, so he had to like meet my mom and talk to my mom, and you know what I mean. Like he was doing it the right way. Like he was going in and talking to my sister, but he would like talk to my mom first. He had to talk to
yeah.
my mom first, and then
Cool.
me. I was the little brother, so he took me under his wing, and he was actually the one to like he showed me how to cut hair.
Wow. So there it is right there, man. That's the direct influence to start, I feel like. The more hands-on one, I guess, right?
Yeah, and hands on, he literally he drew on the paper how to fade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he drew like
So
different shades.
How old were you then, you think?
I don't know, bro. Like so long ago. I was definitely in Jersey. I was so young. I mean, I was a kid. You know what I mean? He looked at me like he was just like,
What do you think? Like
hey.
15 maybe?
I
14?
don't know. He was just like, hey, Tito, you want a haircut?
He's like,
Yeah.
hey, yo, just
Hey, little guy.
yeah.
Here.
But that's cool though, how he kind of broke it down with like like the
Yeah, I mean, I was asking so many questions, and he's like, give me a paper. And he was
Yeah,
like,
how like people level off their fades and
yeah.
stuff
So
like
he was
that.
just like, yeah, like about a half inch. That's your next guide. You know what I mean? And you keep going, and then you
Yeah,
see
he put in
lever
all those
right here,
guides.
this lever right here is gonna, get the lines out. I was like, oh.
That's crazy, man. So yeah, that was those early seeds planted, man. That's what I was looking for. That's paramount. I mean, if you think back, I mean, just think if that wasn't in your life, you may have went into a different
Right,
direction.
yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. Yeah, Raymond definitely helped me out in that whole thing right there.
So what were some of the other like occupations you were in, or what kind of other work did you do coming up?
I worked at a deli.
Little deli, that's so Jersey.
Italian deli. It was Italian deli, and they were definitely mob.
Gabago. Over here.
They were definitely mob.
Oh, let me get the gavel go over there. What the?
Yeah, I seen some stuff going down in there because I was in the back, peeling onions and stuff.
That's cool, man. That's cool though. I'm a huge Sopranos guy, so that's what my mind always goes to. Jersey,
Oh,
Yeah, no, that was real. They were there.
that and like Pete Rock and stuff.
His name was Frank.
So you worked in the deli. What other kinds of
I worked at a window factory.
window factory? Okay, so you're always kind of like blue collar type stuff, labor, and
Yeah,
everything like
I
that.
did some construction, like cement work. Like I mixed cement,
Nice.
the wheelbarrow, fill out the wheelbarrow, and it was tough
There
work.
may have been a little mob stuff in there too, I'm sure. Right?
It was, yeah.
So progressing forward, when did you decide that you were going to take your barber dream like serious? When you're like, I need to go to school for this, or when did you find out you even had to go to school for it? Were you kind of asking your barber?
After Raymond taught me a little bit, like I kind of started cutting hair a little bit around the neighborhood, cutting some of the kids around the neighborhood, and for a time I started to not want to do it because I felt like my childhood was like it was interrupting my childhood. I was like, all right, the
Let me
demand.
be a kid.
People were knocking on my door, and I was like, dude, I want to go play. Like I want to go play basketball with my friends.
Yeah.
And I felt like I told the dude, I was like, yo, I'm not doing it no more. Don't come back. Don't come back. It was crazy. I
You're
don't
getting
know.
a little too.
I want to go play. Like I was like, damn, I can't go play.
What's he doing now?
Who?
Raymond.
Raymond, man, I don't know, man. I don't know him. Him. He's not with my sister anymore. So
Right.
they've been separated for a while.
You think he knows you're a barber?
He does know. He does know. And I even when I had the idea to do this, I called him to talk to him about it.
What we mean, just the barber, just attacking
the
barber.
The Fadincomb.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
reached out to him. When I was thinking about this, I reached out to like him because I was like that was like the earliest barber that I, you know what I mean, like that I could think of. I was like, yo, if anybody understands me, it's him.
Right.
So like I reached out to him
So, did you initially get your barber license in New Jersey?
in New Jersey, but not like after I worked a little bit.
Right. Yeah. So you came back. So what kind of brought it back into your life? You're kind of growing up and
Just life, man. I was just like, factories suck. This sucks.
yeah, I was gonna say this job sucks.
Skill, and I'm running from it. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, that's it. I can't run from this anymore. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I started doing it, in the kitchen, cutting hair in the kitchen. Like I had a roommate, and then he had some friends, and I started back up through there. But it was just like I even tried college. Like you brought up college before. I tried that, and I was like, oh my god, I hate this.
How long did you spend in college?
I don't know. I didn't finish. It was like it wasn't even a whole year. You know what I mean? Like I was in there, and I was just like,
And that
staring
was
at the
it.
computer, and like I don't know. English class is like, you know how like they give you a paragraph, and then you got to remember the paragraph and like write about it. I was like, I hated doing this. Like, I don't want to do this again. It's like,
There's
what?
nothing inspiring if you're not into it. You know what I mean? That's why I always felt like college should have been when I was in college.
Like, yeah,
It was
like I had the gift. I feel like to cut hair, and I kind of like pushed it away, and I tried other stuff, and then I ended up coming back.
just think, do you ever think about those factory workers maybe in the factory you worked at? Just like what their life is like, just like they look 20 years back and they're like, why did I start this? Why did I go down this road? You know what I mean? Why didn't I have the gumption to get out?
To get out, right? Yeah, the rat race.
Like we're all witnessing it today, dude. Like we witnessed it with the Fadincomb mailing fiasco. So when I ordered this comb off of you, this Fadincomb, it got delivered to the wrong mailbox. And I'm like, there it is. Another example of someone that hates their job and sucks at doing it. Like, how many people like are good at their job and they like it? It's like very hard to come by. And like, so I already had like I already had a view on my mail woman, because when we first bought our house about a little year and a half ago, we I was like screwing around in the yard up towards the mailbox, like putting leaves in a bag or something. And I look up and I see my mail woman kind of approaching a little bit. And I remember waving at her. And then like, I turn around, start messing around with my stuff. And then I just hear douche. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And I'm like, dude, she ran into my trash can to push it out of the way. So she didn't like where it was, so she just like pushed it down.
No way.
And I was like, okay, that's who we're dealing with here. All right. So it took all of me to not be like, hey, it's all about those benefits, right? How many years you got left? No, then when that's over, then you'll be happy, right? Then you'll be happy. Like, that's what I wanted to tell her, but
This is in Atlanta?
Yeah, this is I'm in like a part of Decatur. So I'm about 15-minute drive from downtown Atlanta.
Okay.
But yeah,
no,
dude,
I was get a grasp of like the culture over there. Like, why was it's like,
dude, it's bad. Every service industry here, dude, is really bad. Like, I've given up on grocery stores, dude. I just don't go in them anymore. Like, it's improved my quality of life. Everything, like over the last decade, I've had a lot of like, trials and tribulations and ups and downs throughout my career, my family, and now I'm on the other side of it, and I'm like, life's pretty good right now. I was thinking, I'm like, what is the worst part of my week every week? Oh, yeah, it's going to the grocery store. It's a horrific experience here.
That's horrible, man.
So, yeah, I just like, I'll Instacart it. We'll go to Costco. I'll go to Costco like once a month or something, get a boatload of shit. But, yeah, man, it's just certain things here you just learn to avoid.
You gotta step out your grocery store. You gotta get up to Whole Foods and
Dude, it's the same story though, man. It's just like an overcrowding. People don't want to work, and there's too many people to handle, and it's the problem. But just automate it, dude. Just end this misery for everybody. Turn this thing into like a raceway where you just pick it up like a drive-through. Because that's what it'll probably be in a decade anyway. That's what the higher ups want. They want efficiency and margins.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so I regress. And even on Sunday, my daughter's 5th birthday party was going on, right? I drive like 20 minutes north to this party city to get balloons. My mom set it up. She had the balloon order she put in. She's like, go pick it up. So I go pick it up. And it's like a huge unicorn arrangement of balloons, right?
Right.
And I got the receipt. I'm like, hey, I'm here to pick up a balloon arrangement. Believe it's some unicorns. Here's the receipt. And then they're like, is this it? I'm like, it's on the receipt, isn't it? Like, I don't know. I didn't make the order. I'm just picking it up. And so what do you think happened? I didn't get the whole order. I was like, that's it, right? And you're like, yep, that's all of it. I get home. My mom's like, where's the big unicorn? And I'm like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
Oh my goodness.
Another example of just someone just trying to get through the day and not giving a shit. Right? They're more worried about getting home and doing whatever they do. They're just, everything career-wise is just a get by for most people.
I mean, I had in Cherry Hill, Trader Joe's, I forgot like a whole bag of my groceries, and the lady runs out to the parking lot
Dude.
to give it to me. So like
There's
that
a
was
few in there.
what you just said.
Yeah, there's a few in there.
I was so grateful for her. I was like, wow, that was so nice.
It gives you hope when you see stuff like that.
Yeah, so like, don't you know, I don't know. It's not all bad.
I'm not a big Trader Joe's guy just because like where it's located here is super inconvenient. Like it's just too many people for the one. But yeah, man, that's my little soapbox. So but yeah, I mean, even my clients, dude, I tell my clients, you know, you part of our script always. What do you do? Do you like it? That's why I always ask them. I make sure. And I feel like that's part of our jobs, dude, to kind of motivate our clients and inspire them as well. And just be like, what did you want to do? What was your dream? And then they're like, yeah, you know, it wasn't software engineer. That's for sure. Like, it's like, yeah, the money's great, but dude, like, that's what I'm saying. Like when you retire and it's like, oh, I'm still unhappy. Why didn't I do something I enjoyed as a passion, you know? And then you'll make the money work. It always works out if you do what you love.
Yeah, you just gave me another question to give to ask my clients.
There you go.
You want to do?
Yeah, what did you want to do? Because I got a feeling that ain't what you wanted to do.
Right.
Some people.
I'm gonna add that one to mine now.
There you go, man. So let's get into the whole barber school thing now. So what was going to barber school like when you started that?
I mean, I went to cosmetology school in Jersey.
Cosmetology school, okay. Was there a barber program or was it completely? Got you.
So I had to do cosmetology.
See, that's what helped me up because I was like, man, I don't know if I could do it like that. So I almost waited too long until I came across like there was a barber school available when I lived out in Arizona. So that's kind of how mine went. So how many hours was cosmetology school for you?
1,200.
1,200. Okay, that's a decent amount. That's a good amount.
Yeah.
Did you have any like once you were in there, where you kind of like everything clicked and you're like, wow, like I'm gonna get paid for this one day, or was it kind of the opposite?
I was cutting hair for a while, and I was like, I felt like when I went to cosmetology school, I was already like my mindset it wasn't like to mess around. You know what I mean? Like I was like super determined. Like I was sitting in the front seat. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
It was like totally not what I used to be in school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you see a variation of everyone motivation wise in school, right?
Yeah.
Like you saw some kids that were like fucking around in the back, or like
it was easy for me, man. I had a super fly teacher. Yo, my teacher was so hot. He was so hot, yo. So I was just like right in front of her.
There you go. That's some extra motivation.
Like that was a cheat code for me.
There you go. So how many months did it take you, or a year, or a month? How many months?
Well, over a year, because like you said, it's hours. So like if you miss a day, you didn't make those hours, so you gotta make those hours. So it took me about a year.
Were you living at home still, or did you have to work, or were you living on your own?
Like I was in between moving out of my mom's and like a friend's house.
Okay, so you're kind of hopping around a little bit, trying to make it work.
It was hard. Yeah, no, it was hard. But I knew I had to go to school. It was like I have to do this no matter what. You know what I mean?
Chip away at it, man. However, you gotta make it work. That's kind of how I took it too. I was like, you know, I gotta pay bills. You know, my wife and I moved out to Arizona. She was in getting her PhD, and it's a very, you know, low stipend. It was like 16 grand, and I was making less than that. And we lived in like a 600 square foot apartment with our husky, and yeah, man, just a couple people in love trying to make it happen, right? Trying to pursue it all. So now we're like on the other side, you know, we got a 5-year-old daughter, and it's kind of, we can look back and reflect now on like those hard times and how we did it. We moved to 3 different states, and now we're kind of settling down, and we're calling Georgia our home.
Nice.
So once you got out of
the thing about school is like I want to tell you this about the car I was driving at the time was a 95 or 97, kind of like DeVille. I had bought that off of my friend's dad. Uh,
I
it
can
was a
see it
white,
now.
yeah, it was pearl white Cadillac DeVille. I love the thing, but like me driving it to school and going to work, like I beat this car up.
Yeah.
And for the whole year and whatever, how long it took me to finish school.
Right.
And, you know, it was an older car. Don't you know the day that I finished, the day that I graduated, and it was like hours thing, right? So like I didn't have to stay the whole day in the class.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I only needed 2 hours, so like I went to school, 2 hours were up, and then I could leave. They give you the little
Okay.
graduation paper, and then you know what I mean. They tell you the whole thing, and I'm like, I get in my car. My car was like it was starting to break down.
Yeah.
I drive all the way to my friend's house where I was staying at, and before I pulled into the parking lot, the car dies.
Oh man.
It dies, but I was just like,
What a blessing though. It died then.
I cried. I was like, yo, it's like, you know what? You did it for me. This is all you have to do. It's like, thank you.
It.
You got me to school. I finished. This is my last day. You gave me all you had.
Kiss the steering wheel. It was like it was real, my man. It was a good run, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. You gave me to the last day of school.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what was taking your test like? Did you have a practical? What was it like?
Both. Yeah.
Both. Yeah. These days, dude, that's like a thing in the past, right? Like, man, there's people taking tests on mannequins. There's people just taking written tests.
That's taking the practical was like almost like something that was ingrained in me was like about the comb, like the comb being the most important tool. Like I remember there was like a trick question. It was like the teacher would like you would have like the blow dryer in your hand and whatever. She's like, what's your main tool? And it's like, and I'm thinking it's the scissors, the blow dryer. She goes, no, it's the comb. And you know what I mean? She's like, no, that's your tool. That's, you know, because that's what's directing the hair for that tool to work. And I was like, all right, whatever. So
even when you're like clipper cutting, it feels weird if something's not in that left hand or your offhand, you know, that you're using, right?
So that definitely ingrained the comb being super important. And then the practical test, that was another thing. Like if you didn't hold the comb in your hand during a haircutting service, you would fail.
Yeah, that was part of the curriculum and everything.
Fail the test.
Criteria.
If you drop the comb and pick it up, you would fail. You'd have to grab a whole new comb.
Right.
You got to leave the comb on the floor.
Yeah, that's why you have to have like a certain particular comb, and you had to have like what 2 or 3 of them, like laying at your station.
Also, you went through the practical too.
Oh yeah. I got licensed in Arizona, and I was a written and a practical. Luckily, in the curriculum, like hair color and like perm was taken out during my era. So I lucked out there. Now they don't have to do it in Arizona. Yeah. Now they don't even have to take a practical. It's all written, which is mind-blowing, dude.
Yeah. But the color and all that was like I remember we used a gel.
Okay. So
simplified it. It was just a mock. You just dip your comb, your dye brush into the gel, and like they just wanted to see that you knew where to go on the root, or if you were doing the mid shaft, or you're doing the ends.
Okay, so you're not doing like foils or like anything crazy for the exam.
No.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that would terrify me, right? Because that's like not my specialty. It's not what I'm like getting in this for, and. Yeah, I'm glad that kind of I never even had to deal with that hurdle. So you get out of school. What was your first shop that you were kind of pinpointing to work in?
So like I was already working in a shop, but like super hood shop. You know what I mean? Like it was in the hood. It was in the hood, and I was just like I had just finished graduated, so like I felt like I was like, man, I need to step it up. You know, I got my shit, I got my stuff. You know,
so you're getting reps in a real shop. When you were kind of closing out school on the
I was already working there. There. And then when I finished, I went back, and then like what made me get out, it was one, I got my license, and I was like, I don't need to work here. Like I could work anywhere somewhere nicer, you know? But also, and I didn't just leave right there. the owner kind of like pushed me out. She kind of like was trying to raise the rent, and it was like leaking water. I was like, you're not even fixing this place. Like, what are you raising the rent for?
Yeah.
Like, all right, it's time for me to go.
Yeah.
I already kind of want to go, and now you want to raise the rent on me. I was like, all right, I'm gonna look around.
Stars align there.
Mm-hmm.
So then where were you looking at?
So like I ended up going to this Dugout barbershop. It was he had just opened it up. It was like a baseball theme. It was
okay.
It was super clean. There was no drip. It wasn't dripping at all.
Yeah.
What I liked about it, like he was
classic
like
feel.
He first one that had like some artificial turf like in the in the seating area.
No way. That's dope, dude. That's different. I've never seen that to this day.
He had that going on. He still has he has it now, and he made the shop a lot bigger. But yeah, that's what I ended up going to. Oh, but I did like before. No, when I went to Tyre, that was before the license thing. But like the Dugout was the nicest shop in the city for sure.
So how many years did you work there?
The Dugout, 10.
Yeah. Worked a full decade, developed all that clientele, right?
Uh-huh.
So what was the change that brought you down south to Florida?
So like just the same, almost kind of the same thing. Like in the first barbershop, I got my license, and I kind of want to just level up, right?
Yeah.
So like I went through all this. So like I did 10 years there. You know what I mean? It's like, how much better is it gonna get here?
Yeah. What I mean, did you kind of burn out or just maximize your earnings?
It was just like mentally, I was just thinking, it's like, how much better is it gonna get here? Like my clients have a standard of like of price. I'm like, they're my friends, and if I was to raise the price on them, they'd freak out. So it's just like, I need to get out of here. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I was just stuck, not only for them, but like wasn't really like, I don't know, like the clients themselves. Like I felt like it wasn't gonna grow.
Yeah. What were you charging for a haircut at that place?
I don't know, maybe 20, 25 minutes.
Was that what it always was, or was that like the height of it?
At that point, it was probably the height of it.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking back in the day, man. I mean, it wasn't the prices.
Yeah, I mean, the first barbershop, I remember it was I want to say it was $12 haircuts.
Yeah. And
then was it 15 for beards? I don't know. Maybe it would have. Yeah, I think it was 12 haircut, 15 for beard.
I feel like back then, if you added a beard, it was like $5 extra. I was like, damn, we are devaluing the beard. Like finally the beard's getting like some like value.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, 12 to 15 bucks. That's only $3.
Right, yeah, no doubt. Like I've been lobbying because our shop does like regular, and like the tier we do is like regular and signature. There's 2 different tiers. So like for a haircut, like a regular haircut's like down to like a 1 basically, or some people get a half. Some people kind of get away with that. Some barbers don't play that though. They'll still charge a signature price if they get a half. But yeah, basically signatures, any kind of skin fade or like faux hawk, anything that's like in that realm. And it comes at a higher price. And we do a beard trim and we charge $25 for it only, like alone. And yeah, it's the same thing if it gets added on to anything. But I've been kind of pushing for like we need to do, because it's understood that it's all dry. Like the allotted time's 15 minutes. And like beards are one of my specialties. So I'm like, man, we're not giving it enough life in 15 minutes. Like they can go down the road and get something done in 15 minutes with their beard. We're not separating ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. So like I've been pushing for like, because I always do, I make it 30 minutes. If it's 15, I always make it 30 minutes. And I get my hot towel and I shave their neck and everything. I lather them up. And because it's going to look better and I can do it in the same amount of time anyway, right? Good. So because even if it marks off 15, it ends up being 30. Because up until now, they might be able to now. But back then, you couldn't schedule, another 15 back to back. 15s. It would still block out 30. So, I would just do the whole 9 with the shave and the beard lineup and everything. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, if we do a signature beard, because everyone doesn't do that. There's like not a continuity in the shop. So like some people kind of get pissed at me because I do that. And I'm like, this is, when I didn't have as many clients, this is how I separated myself and earned more clients. So I kind of had to keep that up. I couldn't go backwards. So now I'm kind of pushing for, I'm like, let's do a signature beard for 40. That includes these guys with like the Duck Dynasty type beards, because those beards are like sculpting, it's like a sculpture.
Sculpting, and with that, you kind of like got to blow dry the hair or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of specialty and expertise involved in it. And I think we should charge more than $25 for it, because, it's a signature kind of beard. And so I'm like, if we want to have continuity, then we should do 15-minute beard trim, dry, 40, we could still do it in 30 probably, so to make it make sense. 30 minutes for a signature shave, wet, hot towel, or your Duck Dynasty type beard. And then we do combo stuff, like we do this executive service. It's like, you get 2 drinks, there's a bar at the shop and everything, and you get drinks, you get shampoo, all these skin treatments and shit. And it typically is for like, a big shot or like a wedding party, type of clientele. But you get anything there. So I'm like, let's try to tier this out more. So that's kind of the newer thing I'm pushing for with that now. But did you do booth rent when you worked in that shop you were in for a decade up there?
Yeah, both of them.
Okay. Were you always in a booth rent situation in your whole career?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I've never been in a booth rent situation. I've always been commissioned, dude. So like, I've always been kind of a company man and just like a team guy and just trying to bring everyone to get on the same page. And
how does that work? Is it like so there's a system in play for commission, right? Where they like the client doesn't pay you, they pay up front?
They pay. Every barber has their own point of sale system, and so that kind of goes into our numbers and everything. It separates, and it's a commission, and it's one of the lowest commissions that you'll probably come across. But we're charging a premium price, and it's in the heart of Midtown Atlanta in the city. We're a block away from Piedmont Park. This huge. It's kind of like the Central Park of Atlanta, and very ritzy joint. We're serving $16 signature cocktails, and so people from the movie industry come in. We got assistants. You don't have to lift a finger, so it kind of all pays for itself. You're getting a great parking spot in the city too. You can use whenever you want to use, and I'm gonna use it Friday. I'm going to the Knicks Atlanta Hawks game.
Yeah, so how far are you from those venues, from like the sports venues, like the Falcon Stadium and all that?
State Farm Arena, I'm probably 10 minutes away from. That would be 10 minutes south. And, Mercedes-Benz, it's just 10, 12 minutes as well.
Okay, because I went to that stadium.
Which one, State Farm?
No, the Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes-Benz, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you watch there, the United or the Falcons?
The Falcons.
Falcons, yeah. I've only been for the soccer so far. I'm a huge football guy though.
Yeah, no, I went to the Falcons. The first year it opened up.
Really?
I went to the preseason game.
Apparently they fixed like the acoustics in there, because when they were doing like concerts, like the sound wasn't quite right yet. So they had a huge like renovation with the sound in there. So it sounds even better now.
That's cool.
My wife went to part of the Beyonce tour that was there. So that was a big deal. But yeah, man, I'm going to the Knicks. You being like a tri-state guy, like what kind of you a New York Knicks guy, or you a Brooklyn Nets? As far as
basketball, like when I started into basketball, I was watching Jordan. I was watching Jordan against the Lakers. I mean, so like
in the hay of that.
Right. So like I feel like I was I felt like a front runner, like being like a Bulls fan. So like I like Jordan,
Yeah.
obviously, right? Like I watched him, but it was just like I can't just be a Bulls fan. Like and I'm around here. I don't know. So I kind of randomly picked a team to get out
Yeah.
of it.
That's
So
good.
like
What'd you
I
go with?
ended up with Minnesota Timberwolves.
That's a dope team. That one of my best friend growing up. He did the same thing. He kind of lost touch of basketball for a few years and came back and he's like, I'm gonna pick a team. I'm going with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
What? Yeah, I
Yeah,
did the same
so I
thing,
get
man.
to hear about them all the time.
Yeah, that's when sheesh, that's when Kevin Garnett first got in there.
Yeah, man. Dude, you remember just think how great they could have been with Stephon Marbury and KG because that's the whole max
They would
deal,
have stayed
right?
together, yeah.
That's when the whole max deal kind of came out, right? When KG got it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of pissed off Marbury, and
Yep,
then everything kind of faded away. But
yep.
just imagine if they would stay together for at least 5+ years. They
Mm-hmm.
probably would have won a championship, dude.
They probably would have won, yeah.
But so yeah, moving forward there. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the Knicks game this Friday with the family and everything. The opener. I got to get out of the shop quick. I'm gonna leave my car there, just Uber down.
Oh,
I learned that the hard way because I went to a couple games, one with work friends and one with the family. And the last one I drove with the family, and I'll never do that again, dude. I missed the whole game. I'm looking around, how are this many people missing this much of the game too? It always blows my mind. So you were looking to back to your story. So you're looking to elevate the game once again. So you come down. Do you go straight to Boca Raton or do you go somewhere else in Florida first?
Boca Raton. How did I end up? I mean, no, I didn't pinpoint Boca Raton. I was guided. Like one of my friends from Jersey knew. He didn't know Zeno. He knew the Zeno's co-owner, the Zeno's partner, a guy named Angel. His name is Angel. So he has I was supposed to contact him. So I didn't know there was 3 New Era barbershops. So
all same ownership? Oh, there is. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zeno happens to own this one.
Yeah.
Here. So he told me was New Era Barbershop, and I was like, all right. So I typed it in on Instagram, and I got Zeno, but I didn't know I was getting Zeno. So I DM'd. I was like, yo, my boy Steve told me that that he knows you, and then to hit you up about to see if I could go working over there or just to see if I like it.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, Angel, yeah, I know him. He goes, I forgot exactly how he said, but he kind of he took the opportunity and was like, yeah, come on in. I know Angel. You know what I mean?
Isn't that the best barbering and the onboarding process? Say if we wanted to work in one of those dead end jobs like we were talking about earlier, just how long it takes to even get into those jobs.
Right.
The onboarding.
Yeah, you're right. That's
background check, piss test, you got orientation, barbering. It's like, hey, you ready tomorrow?
yeah. Yep.
That's the best. Hey, come in tomorrow. We'll talk.
See what's there. Yep.
Bam, boom, done.
Well, I mean, Zeno definitely he had a little process though. He was cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you still got to earn your keep a little bit, of course.
But yeah, it was definitely a lot easier than
any of those others. So what was with your license and everything? Did they have reciprocity with New Jersey, Florida?
To Florida, I mean, it's a small process to transfer over.
But they didn't have reciprocity at the time.
What's that? I don't know.
So it's your license is basically valid in other states as well as New Jersey. So they just pick random states. I don't know why it's why they pick the states they do, but
no. From what I remember, that I thought it took 3 different state licenses to get a universal.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's an interesting.
That's what I was under the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, there's so many layers and there's so many different rules in every state. Like I have now from my original Arizona license, I have reciprocity with Georgia. So like
Oh,
when I was in Pennsylvania working before I moved down here, I didn't have reciprocity. So they let me go to work on a temporary license. I initially had to take my uh, exam to get my full license there. And COVID happens and everything kind of gets pushed back and extended. And then I finally had to take my test like over a year working there, like 2 years. And then I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I got to study skin diseases again. Because, of course, these boards, dude, they don't tell you shit, right? There's like two people covering the whole state. And no one knows what's going on about anything.
yeah.
And then they didn't give me any information. So I went in there thinking it's going to be this 100+ question test. And it was 30 questions about state law. That's all it was to get my PA license since I already had a license.
Right.
And I failed it by like one question. And so I went back the next week and aced it since I knew what the fuck I was getting into.
Right. Right.
And then that was that. And then when I moved down to Georgia, it was like even harder. No temporary license. The application process is taking forever. We buy a new house. I can't work for a month because there's this limbo with my license. You know, my shop's got a liquor license and everything. They can't mess around with having people like illegal in there.
Yeah.
So, man, that was like something that hit my soul hard when it was like taken away from me. I couldn't cut hair for like that long. It was nuts. So you got in there, you get the ball rolling down in Florida. Just talk about what you're doing now, man. Current day. It's kind of like you're living the dream, right? Do you view it as you're living the dream? You're doing what you're passionate about?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I definitely still love to cut hair. I've been doing it for a while, but like, there's always, like you say, layers. There's always something new and, you know, different styles. And I feel like the whole texture thing now is like huge.
Yeah, people want that texture. People want that.
Like texture's like the thing, man, and it's just like it's fun. It's fun doing it.
Yeah.
So many ways to point cut and
yeah, you kind of had to refine the shear stuff and get that going.
I feel like that's like the next level of barbering. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you only do so much with the clippers. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, as far as living the dream, though, man, it's kind of it's what you've always known, right? It's what you've always got into, and you're still happy, right? You're still happy doing what you do.
Yeah, no, it's definitely still fun, man. It's still
you
fun.
add little different logs to the fire, like the products and everything.
Yeah.
Fadincomb. So let's get back into your Instagram real quick, and let's kind of get through some more things you're doing. You've been going to a lot of expos and things now too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say a lot, but I'm trying. I feel like I need to go to more.
How many have you been to so far?
So, I mean, this year?
Yeah.
I went to the Connecticut one.
That's a big one. That's the biggest one, right?
That's a huge one, man. Like, I had to go to that one. The premiere in Orlando.
Okay.
That was pretty big too. I went to another one in like in the Naples area in Florida. It was a smaller one. But that one was pretty good. I would say I've been to like at least 5 this year.
Okay. I mean, that's a lot, dude. Come on, give yourself a little credit.
I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like I need to do more, man.
I still haven't popped my cherry in that area yet. And with the podcast, I definitely need to start getting into that more and more.
Yeah. No, I've seen people literally do interviews right in the expos.
Yeah. See, I would more use it as just a networking to get more guests and to spread the word. In terms of like mobile recording, I feel like there's too much of this like lav mic stuff going on. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
You've been seeing a lot of that in the industry.
Yeah. People
holding the little mic like they're like inhaling the microphone. I'm like, dude, do these people not understand audio? Like, Like, have they never played it back and listened to how bad that sounds? Like I've done a lav mic podcast before in the shop with a client that I wanted as a guest, but I mic'd them up where it's supposed to go. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves in the industry right now, that lav mic and just how terrible it sounds. So get into the design and the branding here. But like, how'd you come up with these colors scheme? I love the blue, the turquoise and the red, that kind of pops.
So like the blue and red is definitely something I wanted to do for the barber pole.
Yeah, it's got the barber pole, but it seems a little more flair. There's your little technique right there. You're talking right there too.
That's it right there. Where you hold the hair down, and I had to do it for him because he had like that curly hair, so I like literally had to stretch his hair down. It's like to knock out to get the line and not push it.
Exactly. You're talking about stretching out the curly hair, brushing it towards the cutting area, holding the comb in place, get a crispy line without pushing it back.
There you go.
That's the whole idea. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the first things. This reminds me of like the old school Phillies like uniforms, right?
Yeah, somebody else told me that. Yeah, somebody did tell me that.
I always loved like wearing those hats.
Yeah.
That. So that was like the first thing that made me intrigued by this product, just the way it looks. Yeah. But it looks like, what's that?
The blue red definitely stands for like initially it was like the barber pole, but like a lot of things that I do like have double meanings or more than one meaning. You know what I mean? Like,
of course, yeah. Triple entendre.
Yeah. So like, there's a little bit of where I was born, Puerto Rico, there with the blue, with the aqua. So like changing the blue to that more Caribbean blue. That's kind of like a little bit of that.
Exactly. Okay, I like that. There's some of the early prototypes there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's dope. So you're kind of getting into more products though, right?
So like I got the aftershave, and like what I did with that is like it was like that like the beginning of like where I want to take the product line that I want to do. Like I want to do of an all natural barber product line. You know what I mean?
So it's got essential oils.
Yeah.
I can see that in there, plant-based and a calming scent. What's the scent kind of remind you of? Oh, it says orange vanilla sage.
Orange vanilla sage. So like I added orange vanilla sage. Initially it was like a lavender, patchouli, and hemp. And it was like all those combinations were based off of what I researched that I did that were good for the skin. So like I wanted to add scent to witch hazel because witch hazel didn't smell too good, right? By itself. So like I wanted to like add a scent to it, but I didn't want just add scent to it. Like I wanted to have a purpose behind it. So like I researched what oils would be great for the skin. So like I did that, but like I didn't like when I first initially was spraying it, like I thought it smelled good, but like the reaction like across the board wasn't. I was like, all right, I need to step it up. So like I did more research on
clients didn't like the smell overall.
So like I kept that as a base, but I added the orange vanilla sage as to be the more dominant in the scent part of it. But it still has the beginning, like the lavender and patchouli.
So you just added a little to it.
Yeah. So like I mix the oil myself, all the essential oils. So I have it all in one jar. So like that jar. So what I do now is like I just add a little bit of that, the older jar, you know what I mean, into the new one.
Oh yeah, man. I'm gonna have to get some of this too, man. Try it out because I'm actually fresh out of aftershave. The shop actually supplies it, but it's kind of like that old, like musky, like old school barber smell.
Yeah.
So. And my guy, I always talk about my guy Miguel beside me. He his aftershave is like super potent, right? Like I don't necessarily dislike it, and I don't think clients do, but I mean you could smell this from like miles away, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, man, I kind of want to I kind of want to mix in something different, and this is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Talk about the bunny though. What kind of brought the bunny character into the branding?
So the hair. So like, I remember when I was making the comb, I was like thinking like, I was all right. If I do this on my own, I should have a company behind it, right? And then like, if I have a company, then I was like, I need a character, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not super social and all that, so I was like, I could build this character and like kind of hide behind him. You know what I mean? I could make him me.
Yeah.
So like that was like the initial thought of adding the character, the hair. So like I want to say fade the hair. Like I wanted it to be a hair because the name hair sounds like, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, okay. There's the whole hair. Okay.
yeah, he's a hair, not, you know what I mean? So like
Entendres again.
I do it. Yeah. So fade the hair. That's his. That's who he is.
Okay. He's got the little you can see the little logo right there.
Got the logo right there. He's got the
Fade ink.
he's got the tie, the barber pole tie.
Absolutely, man. He's
And
he's
dressed
hair
him
in the
up.
fader.
So I wanted him to be a teacher, right? Like I wanted him to have like a teacher type of look. So that's where
Right.
the tie and the khakis come in. But like the artist that drew him for me, I told him I was like trying to dress him up to look like. So I was thinking of like, who's my favorite character teacher? So I watched Breaking Bad a lot, and I was like, Heisenberg.
Heisenberg.
I want him to kind of dress like him. So that's where the khakis in there. I don't know if you see the shoes on. You can't see the shoes in that image, but like he's wearing the wallaby shoes that
Yeah.
that Walter White had.
Okay. That's okay. So
That was a little
it's crazy
scary.
where all the inspiration comes from, man.
Yeah.
So you're getting into even more products now on like the Shopify angle and everything, right?
Well, my products is the comb and the after fade and the aftershave. I have merchandise with like t-shirts and stuff like that.
Exactly. So you're getting into the apparel kind of.
Apparel. So like the apparel thing kind of started a while ago when I first did the store, and I had that brand, and like I figured the comb wasn't done yet, so I wanted to sell something. You know what I mean? Like to get the brand out.
Yeah.
So like I started to do the t-shirts and designing the t-shirts. And I, kind of was like, all right, if I do this, this could probably help me fund. Like if I sell these t-shirts, it could help me fund this process over here, getting the comb done.
Right.
So that's how that started. But like once I got the comb done, I was having so much fun.
Yeah, this is Marta from Scarface, no?
Oh, you know that, huh?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
So
I might
that
buy
was,
this. This is great.
that was an idea I had because of
Hello.
I was like, man, I wish we had something like, people that don't sit still in the chairs, like to let them know. It's like, yo, we said it in Spanish. I forgot what she says in Spanish. No te mueva.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says that. She's like, which means don't move,
Right.
in like in a vicious way.
Manny's outside fucking around with the broads.
Yeah, man. She hardcore. She was hardcore, man. She said, don't move.
Man.
She told Scarface not to move.
Yeah, man.
That's
I like that you got a bunch of different colors too, man. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
I like that.
Martha.
Something different.
Yeah.
So you kind of got the long, oversized style too in there.
Yeah, that was something that's new. I feel like that's a new culture. That's a new trend. So like,
No
let
doubt.
me try see if I could get that going on there too, just to switch it
doubt,
up a
man.
little bit.
So talk about this development. Like, how's that? What's the process in creating the shirts and to get it shipped and pressed up and everything?
Most of it is just me designing. I design like what I learned from designing the comb. Like I use the same software to design all this stuff.
Okay.
So like I design everything myself, and like this. So like what you see online, it's there's a company that would on demand, they'll print on demand.
Okay. That
Yeah,
seems pretty quick.
yeah. So like all I had to do is design and put everything in place where I want it to be at, color wise, and like if I don't like it, I can go back into my computer, redesign it, change the colors, and then upload it, and then I do the whole background thing, and I send it. It goes into my store.
Which clothing item is your highest seller that does the most?
Let's see. I mean, I feel like you're looking at the ones right there. Sheesh.
Are there more than these?
I feel like the street fader.
Street Fader.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. There you go. You got the hair there too.
Yeah, so he's
Coins, one barber only.
so this is like uh the theme of Street Fighter.
Of course.
This is the Street Fighter theme, and then I kind of there was an image I seen of Ryu, like the silhouette. So like I added the Ryu bandana on top of the hair.
Gotcha. That's dope, man. That's the back.
Yeah, so that's the new design I'm doing. I'm trying to do the designs now, like where the big image is in the back and the small one in the front now.
Yeah, that's dope. I like that. I like that style. I like these colors too, dude. These are like all colors I would rock. I feel like a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean that was a process too, like what shirts to use, and like this shirt has been like my favorite one. As far as sizing, like because people have troubles with size.
Yeah, like does the medium run a little big or a little
Yeah,
tight?
so this one's so true to size. It's like I haven't had any issues with this one, and I prefer it myself. You know what I mean? So like,
100% cotton, or you do a little polyester?
yeah, no, this one's all cotton.
All cotton. There you
All
go.
cotton is a garment dyed, which means there's like the fabric they use isn't already dyed. It's like they cut out the shirt and they assemble the shirt and then they dye it.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that makes sense.
It gives
That
it a different gives the shirt a little bit different look. Like it looks a little kind of worn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the material kind of feels different too. I bet, right?
Yeah, it's a little different. I like it.
Hell yeah, man.
Kind of gives it like a little hippie vibe.
No doubt. Yeah, a little like washed feel to it.
Yep.
Hell yeah, man. So let's go back to just like a barbering topic here that we kind of touched on for a second. It was reading the client, right?
Mm.
So like you kind of, we're like masters of reading clients, I feel like. And that can kind of resonate in the real world too, with just people in general.
Yeah.
We're kind of masters of feeling people out and like knowing, if they're not feeling something pretty quick before it's too late, and knowing if they like something, right?
Yeah.
And like, I like to kind of open them up a little bit with a conversation first and just get them to like relate to something in their life, or I might just start complaining about something, or just dealing with real life stuff, traffic, getting your car registered, something like that.
Yeah.
And then, I find something to connect with them, and then bam, then we're able to kind of lighten the burden a little bit, and then you're able to kind of read easier, I feel like.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to kind of make that adjustment in reading that client that scent probably wasn't going to be the finish line for the scent?
Oh, okay. So yeah, it wasn't like the client itself. Like the client itself wasn't. It was like the other barbers that were using it, and then
Gotcha.
I was like kind of reading like what they were using instead.
Yeah.
So I was like picking up on those scents. I was like, all right, they're not literally telling me, but like if they're using something else, like I could smell that. But as far as like to go back to the, like reading the client and stuff like that, like a question, one of the biggest questions, I don't know if it's just because I'm here in Florida, but it's worked for me tremendously, is to just simply ask, where are you from?
Oh yeah.
Because everybody in Florida, like a lot of people in Florida aren't from Florida.
Yeah, it's a melting pot, no doubt.
So like when I get the response, I'm from Jersey. I'm like, oh, that's such.
My guy.
We're in. I'm in. He's hooked. I got him
Right.
in. You know what I mean? So
yeah, just something simple as there. You can already read them, just knowing where their their geography
or
their
something.
upbringing.
It's like it's such a icebreaker for me.
Absolutely, man.
Where you from?
For sure. So hopping into a different thing, let's talk a little bit about passing the torch.
Okay.
Like you're 43 now. How important is it to you to kind of share your knowledge and share your stories and kind of make it easier for other barbers that aren't in your shoes yet?
It's 100% the purpose. It's what is it's passing the torch is what I feel like it's the purpose of life and everything, not just for barbering, but like it's everything. I was just having a conversation with another barber. I was like, yo, do you find that it's like the barbers are turning into barbers faster? Like they're learning so much faster. And the response was like, it's us. They have us. We didn't have, you know what I mean? We didn't have what we have. Like we're better teachers. You know what I mean? We're teaching them faster. And I was like, yeah, you're right. It's like everything that we went through, we could summarize it and boom. And they're picking it up so much faster now.
Yeah, man. That's part of the purpose of this podcast, man. Just to make other barbers feel like they're not alone, that might be earlier in the game, and just to hear all the different perspectives about the industry and the game, and some of the downfalls and some of the successes, and just the wall you got to climb to get to where you are, and the mountain that is. And the cool thing about your products, you're able to kind of demo them through your barbers too, your fellow barber brethren, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey guys, how's this smelling? You think I should make an adjustment? You think like how's that comb holding up, like longevity wise? Like, you're able to kind of test them, and you just like you said, man, it took 7 years from the beginning of it, like
to get it to that point, to
get it refined. It's cool, man. It's so important spreading that message though too, with the passing the torch. So important, man. So Tito, we'll kind of close out here, but before we do, like, what's coming up, man? What you got in the works coming out next for you?
What I got next? I wanna grow the product line, like from the after shave I got. Like I want to grow that. Like I want to make a shampoo. Like I want to make, styling cream.
Yeah. What's the next one you want to zero in on? Just the very next one.
I'm not sure, man. It just
you don't want to let out the secret yet.
Well, here it is. It's like I always start with what's healthy for the skin and what's the healthy part of it. Like that's what I want the line to be. I want the line to be. That's what's gonna differentiate it from the other ones. The other ones don't throw whatever chemical and stuff in there.
No chemicals. Try to keep it natural.
I'm trying to put it all natural. Like that's what I wanted to separate. So like it kind of depends on like the scents and the oils and whatever I get to use it and how what can I make with this?
Right.
So that's what the next one's gonna be. It's like I don't know what could this be? Like if it turns out to be something creamy, then I was like, all right, then we'll go to that. You know what I mean? It'll kind of go into
adjust.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I'm playing it right now. I don't have like a secure one right now, but like I'm trying to formulate it and see what it's gonna be.
That's gotta be challenging too, because like I mean, just like dish soap, for instance, like. We got this Myers, like, or all organic stuff. And like, man, I feel like it doesn't get the job done sometimes, to be honest. Right.
Yeah.
And like, that's got to be one of the hurdles of like, how do I make an all natural product that's not going to give you cancer, but that's still effective. Right.
Effective. Yeah.
So that's kind of like part of the good fight there. I like where you're headed.
It should be something that's important, because if we're like, we're putting this stuff on our clients.
Exactly.
And it's like all we really care is like you're gonna look good, right? But it's like I don't know if it's gonna give you any skin cancer or anything, but
Yeah. And the clients are getting more and more savvy with like skincare products
so
and just like wanting to take
that's
care.
part of me too. Like I eat organic and I eat
I was gonna ask you that.
vegan food, and then like I'm into the health thing. So like
Yeah, you look healthy,
my
man. Your
product
skin
line
looks
has to
great.
represent. To me, I feel like my product line should represent that too, because that's who I am.
Exactly. That's dope, man. Yeah, dude, you look great. I could tell. I was gonna ask you that. Like, are you kind of like a big diet guy, like eating clean and everything like that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. I'm trying. I'm too a little inconsistent at times. Like right after this, I'm eating a little too late. I'm gonna probably eat some Indian food. My wife just ordered.
Indian food's good.
Yeah, Indian is good. It cleans you out. It's good.
Yeah,
You just can't eat too much naan in there, right?
That's right. No, you can't go now. Leave the naan out, bro.
Come on, what am I gonna dip the masala tiki with?
Oh, leaf.
There you go. Well, Tito, man, I appreciate you, man, staying OT, holding it down with me in the new era barbershop.
You, man. This is good. Like you said, it's gonna help somebody. I'm with it.
Yeah, man. This will help hopefully spread the word about the product to people that don't know about it. Yeah. And I've enjoyed it so far, man, and I'm gonna keep using it. And I'm gonna check out some of this merch too and keep my eye out for what you got coming.
Thank you, man. Yeah, for sure. I mean, if along with that, like if somebody's looking to invent something or needs help inventing, reach out to me, man. I if I could help, I'll help.
Maybe I'll get into the spray, but a repellent spray. That's just making me think chemical, right?
Could be, yeah. There's
something like 3M would come out. That sounds like something 3M would come out with. It's giving people cancer. All right, we'll just change the name of it, but it still gives people cancer. Oh, but my man, I appreciate you, Tito. Have a good rest of your night, my man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Keep passing the torch. Keep loving what you do, and keep striving forward, man. I love what you're doing. It's very inspiring, and I admire what you're doing, man.
Thank you.
So have a good night.
You too, man.
We'll spread the word on this thing. We'll make people see what Tito's all about.
Word.
All right, brother. Have a good rest of your night.
Good night.
Thanks for watching another episode of the Your Barber Podcast. New episodes come out weekly on Sunday. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to be notified when new content is posted. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.